Hello, this is Bia Chem Squad. Today we're going to talk about vitamin B3, which includes a review of its role, sources, deficiency, symptoms, as well as who should consider taking a supplement. First, let's talk about the role of vitamin B3. As I mentioned in previous videos, there are 8 B vitamins, including B1 thiamine, B2 riboflavin, B2 B pantothenic acid, B6 pyridoxine, B7, B, and then B4 and B3. These are both technically classified as B vitamins, but they were given different names due to their structural differences from the other B vitamins. B4 is known as choline, and B3 includes niacin and niacin. Both niacin and niacinamide have similar functions, so it's just a matter of preference for some supplements to use one over the other. So when I talk about B3, I'm really talking about both of these. So what does vitamin B3 do? It acts as a precursor for 2 important coenzymes in the body: nicotinamide adenine, also called NAD, and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, also called NADP. NAD and NADP are important because many chemical reactions in the body require these coenzymes to help carry electrons. So think of them as electron carriers. One example is with carbohydrate metabolism. In order to break down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into usable energy, several steps are involved. And many of these steps require NAD and NADP to accept high-energy electrons and then donate them to the next molecule in line to make ATP, the body's main energy currency. Without these helper molecules, our cells would not be able to get energy from food. NAD and NADPH donate these high-energy electrons to the electron transport chain, which ultimately generates a proton gradient across the inner mitochondrial membrane. This potential energy is then used by ATP synthase to produce ATP. Another role of vitamin B3 is with DNA repair and cell signaling. Cells need to replicate their DNA before dividing. This ensures that each new cell gets a full set of chromosomes. But sometimes during DNA replication, mistakes occur. Fortunately, the body has ways to fix many of these errors, and this process requires NAD, and NAD also cells need to be able to communicate with each other. Otherwise, the body wouldn't be able to coordinate its activities. Cells send messages to each other using molecules called signal transduction molecules. Guess what? These molecules often use NAD and NADP to carry out their work. A unique role of niacin, the acid form of B3, is in lowering cholesterol levels. However, this effect only occurs with high doses of niacin, which is why it's usually prescribed as a medication called niacin at these higher doses. Niacin can lower LDL, or bad cholesterol, and triglycerides, while raising HDL, or good cholesterol. The recommended dietary allowance for niacin is 14 to 16 milligrams per day for men and 12 milligrams per day for women. Taking larger amounts of niacin, however, can cause flushing, redness, itching, burning, or tingling of the skin. This unpleasant reaction is thought to be caused by histamine. Interestingly, the prescription form of niacin, called Niaspan, is slowly released into the bloodstream, which helps to reduce this side effect. Now, let's talk about the symptoms of a B3 deficiency. As I mentioned earlier, when someone is severely deficient in B3, they develop a condition called pellagra. Pellagra was prevalent in the southern United States during the early to mid-1900s. The first D is dermatitis. A B3 deficiency causes a scaly, pigmented skin rash. The rash often affects parts of the body that are exposed to the sun. And it looks like this. The affected areas of the skin become thickened, scaly and itchy. It may also turn reddish-brown in color. The second D is diarrhea. When you're deficient in B3, you also have a hard time breaking down carbohydrates and proteins in the digestive system. This can lead to nausea, gas, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. The third D is dementia. Studies show that a B3 deficiency can lead to confusion, memory loss, depression, hallucinations, and eventually dementia. And again, if left untreated, it can lead to a fourth D, which is death. In addition to these symptoms, a B3 deficiency can also cause indigestion, fatigue, irritability, insomnia, depression, loss of appetite, weight loss, elevated LDL cholesterol, anemia, bleeding gums, cracked lips, inflamed tongue, dry eyes, hearing loss, lowered immune system, low estrogen levels, impotence, mood swings, migraines, forgetfulness, poor memory, disorientation, and Wernicke encephalopathy. Now, let's go over what causes a B3 deficiency. The first reason is diet. People who eat very little meat, fish, nuts, and whole grains are at risk of having a B3 deficiency. Alcoholism is another cause. Alcohol impairs the intestinal absorption of niacin, which can lead to a deficiency. Certain disorders can also cause a B3 deficiency. These include heart-nut disease, which is a rare genetic disorder that makes it difficult for the body to absorb certain amino acids. This can lead to a B3 deficiency, because the body makes some of its B3 from tryptophan, an essential amino acid that people with heart-nut disease can't absorb enough of. Another disorder that can cause a B3 deficiency is carcinoid syndrome. This is a rare condition that causes tumors to grow on the body's hormone-producing cells. These tumors produce large amounts of serotonin, which depletes B3. What are some foods that are high in vitamin B3? You can find vitamin B3 in a variety of foods, including meats, poultry, fish, peanuts, whole grains, and legumes. Some of the richest sources of vitamin B3 include salmon, tuna, chicken breast, turkey, peanut butter, mushrooms, and broccoli. Some people may want to supplement with B3. A B3 deficiency can lead to serious health problems, so people who are deficient in B3 should definitely take a supplement. People with alcoholism, Crohn's disease, and other digestive disorders that impair nutrient absorption may also benefit from taking a B3 supplement. Those who wish to lower cholesterol may also consider taking niacin supplements, though you should always talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements, especially if you're taking prescription medications, as some supplements can interact with certain drugs. Before I end this video, I want to address something. Many people search for niacin or B3 supplements to improve their mental clarity and focus. This is based on the fact that a B3 deficiency can cause dementia and other cognitive impairments. But studies have shown that taking B3 supplements do not improve cognitive function in healthy individuals. In fact, some studies suggest that taking high doses of B3 supplements can make cognitive symptoms worse. If you're concerned about your cognitive function, I recommend speaking with your healthcare provider. In summary, B3 is an essential nutrient that plays a key role in energy metabolism and DNA repair. It is also important for maintaining healthy skin and nervous system function. A B3 deficiency can lead to serious health problems, including pellagra. Fortunately, most people get enough B through their diet. However, those who drink alcohol excessively or have digestive disorders such as Crohn's disease may need to take a supplement. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer it.